Good morning from the National Weather Service here in Pocatello. My name is Carter, and this is your Southeast Idaho weather hazard briefing for Friday, August 1st. Key points we're going to focus on today. Once again, we got those daily thunderstorm chances continuing through the weekend. We'll see those peaking coverage each afternoon and evening, primarily in the mountains, with stronger storms today, capable of producing wind gusts in excess of 40 miles an hour, along with some small hail and heavy rain. Critical fire weather conditions will also exist today due to a combination of thunderstorms, breezy winds, and low relative humidity, with multiple red flag warnings in effect. Temperatures will hold steady as we head into early next week. Highs mostly in those 70s, 80s, maybe low 90s further south, but we are trending warmer and dry as we head towards middle and later parts of next week. Highs back more near normal as dry conditions prevail region-wide. And taking a quick look at satellite imagery for you this morning, mostly clear skies out there across eastern Idaho. Bit of some isolated shower and virga activity up in the central mountains this morning as an upper level trough continues to work northeast over the divide into Montana. That's what will be the main driver for those shower and thunderstorm activity later today. And to look at the bigger picture for you guys, you can see that trough continuing to lift northeast and a good deal of dry air building in out of the south. That dry air will continue to lift northeast into eastern Idaho over the next couple of days, so we'll keep some isolated scattered chances around through the weekend, but definitely drying out as we head into early and middle parts of next week. And a look at your weather risk outlook for the next 5 days. Main focus today will be a mix of isolated to scattered showers and thunderstorms, with some wind and low relative humidity, leading to critical fire weather conditions for most areas further south. For Saturday, we're still tracking some isolated to scattered activity, but notice there on Sunday and Monday, those best chances of showers and storms do end up shifting north, with dry conditions back for Tuesday. And take a look back at what we saw yesterday. We saw gusts push up to 59 miles an hour out in the Arco Mud Lake Desert region. But even here in Pocatello, gusts pushing 50, down into the Magic Valley as well, up around 50. But everybody else saw wind gusts in the order of about 20 to 40 miles an hour. Here's a look at those highest numbers from yesterday. And watches, warnings, and advisories in effect today. We do have a red flag warning in effect for the Snake River Plain region, Magic Valley, south down towards the Utah border. Again, a mix of isolated mountain shower thunderstorm chances, but most of this is going to be focused on breezy winds and low relative humidity. And speaking of that for today, got highs and low relative humidity for today. We're looking at highs a bit cooler than they were yesterday in the 70s and 80s across the board, maybe some 90s further south and west, with relative humidities mostly still in those teens and 20s, more 30s and 40s as you head further north. And wind gusts and thunderstorm chances for today. It's going to be a breezy afternoon for most, with gusts about 20 to 35 miles an hour, strongest out across the Snake River Plain. But with thunderstorm coverage today, best chances will be up in the central mountains, northeast into Montana, with just some isolated coverage elsewhere. Again, main focus up into Custer and Lemhi counties. And from the Storm Prediction Center today, it does highlight our entire area in a general thunderstorm outlook, marginal risk of severe storms to our northeast. But taking a look at probability of thunder for today, care let some isolated stuff further southeast, but as you can see shown there in those brighter colors, highlighting best chances further north, and a little bit more activity in the South Hills west into northeast Nevada. And breaking down thunderstorm timing for you today, maybe see some isolated shower virga activity up around Salmon this morning, but the main show will kick off between 12 and 3 o'clock. Best chances, again, focused up in the central mountains. We'll see the next first round up there, second round beginning further south of Burley, mainly focused again south of the Snake River Plain for this afternoon. But we're keeping those chances going through this evening, and there will be the potential overnight tonight for some isolated shower and virga activity, but overall dry conditions will prevail heading into Saturday morning ahead of another round of showers and storms during those afternoon and evening hours. And speaking of Saturday, temperatures holding steady as we head into the weekend, 70s and 80s across the board. This is near normal to below normal for this time of year. And thunderstorm chances on Saturday, mostly isolated in nature, a bit more scattered as you head up into Lemhi County. And from the Storm Prediction Center on Saturday, again, highlighting that trend, at least for all of the Gem State outside of a few areas, seeing that risk for general thunderstorms on Saturday, mostly isolated in nature. But as you can see, just out on most of our border regions, better scattered coverage up into Montana, Wyoming, and further west. And for your Sunday, a touch warmer, but still mostly in those 70s and 80s for finishing out the weekend. More 90s further south and west. And you guessed it, more thunderstorm chances for your Sunday. Only looking at about maybe isolated coverage region-wide. Not seeing much above 30% coverage for Sunday afternoon. And for Sunday from the Storm Prediction Center, again, pushing those thunderstorm chances further north, generally along a line extending up from Idaho Falls west up into the Central Mountains and Montana Divide. Fairly isolated in nature on that day. And for Monday, we'll cool off again just slightly, so temperatures kind of fluctuating a few degrees or two heading into the work week. But we're starting things off still near normal to below normal in the 70s and 80s for your Monday. And winds a bit of an uptick there on Monday, but overall thunderstorm chances still remaining fairly isolated in nature, a bit more scattered up into Lemhi County. And for Tuesday, a cool morning, 30s, 40s, and 50s out there with afternoon highs still fairly comfortable for this time of year in those 70s to mid 80s. And thunderstorm chances on Tuesday, we are currently carrying a dry forecast. Most of this is going to be in that maybe 10% chance range for Tuesday, but we are going to see those drier conditions and warmer conditions building in for middle and later parts of next week. And speaking of that, Wednesday and Thursday, temperatures do look like they should return to more near normal levels. What that means for us is a bit more coverage of those 80s and 90s. And to look at what's to come, near normal temperatures to slightly above normal temperatures will continue across the Gem State, a bit cooler below normal as you head further north. But the big story is this broad region of high pressure that'll be shifting in to finish out the early parts of August. So 6 to 10 day period below normal favored precipitation across eastern Idaho. 8 to 14, we're keeping with those warming temperature trend as we head into mid-August. But with respect to precipitation, still seeing that influence of broad high pressure overhead. Maybe a bit of a weak signal to our west as we head into that period, but we'll keep an eye on that, but still maintaining near normal to below normal chances in that Great Basin Intermountain West region. And that's about all I have for you this morning. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please feel free to send us an email, give us a call, or check out some information on our website. Have an awesome Friday.